And we are live, I think. Yeah. Okay, the mic's working. Yeah, no, what a laptop was being so glitchy yesterday. I just restarted it again, everything's fine, audio is good. Weird. I'll just take it for what it is. Anyway, we're back. We're almost at MVP chat. So we're getting there. Minimum viable product soon. A lot of nuanced work we need to do with certain things, but I like the new radar system. I think it's great. I think I need to make a shader for the new UI. So anyway, we have our Blender up to date now, so we can start doing some art, which is good. Need to go and see if the Blender plugins that we have are going to be compatible with the Windows search is so bad, man. Hey Larry, how's it going? You're first on YouTube today? Yeah, so now that we're in Blender 4.5. So I need to organize this because we'll be spending a lot of the future. How's your day? Good so far. Did a lot of work with the guys in testing to get the habitation modules working in multiplayer. So now, as a part of the funding of the game, at the $10 tier, you get your own like apartment building you can customize. And ideally, like when players spawn in, they just spawn in a random room. So there's still placeholders that are used, right? But for the Patreon members, they can fully customize it. And it'll be a feature that's available to everybody, obviously. But just I want to create like a little test world where everyone can kind of play around. And this is now like fully working, which is great. So I can show you. It doesn't look that great because you're not seeing the. You're not really seeing like how cool, like it doesn't really show how cool itself is, but it's. I'll give you the context. We'll do a little test build, and I'll just connect to myself. So let's assume. Oh, that's not what I want to run. I want to run main build. Alright, so revere, server, a player. So say I host a session as a server. Hey, Fish. Alright, so I'm now hosting a session as the server player, right? Everything is now working, but I want to log in as Revere. So Revere now logs in online, connects to the API, is now actually in with the patch notes, goes to multiplayer. It's now Revere, joins in, and now Revere is actually logged in to the API right now. So we have our little test server player, but Revere's here, and because Revere, has an active Patreon account, if we follow Revere over, or actually, let me just log in with someone else real quick. All right, so I'm going to be an observer. And apparently, right. So this account, you know, is logged in. So I can now like unlock my own habitation module. And there it is. There's Rav's place. These are all the nodes you have to go. No worries. So, you know, I can now go and customize Rav's place because it's mine. And, you know, if we head back over, you can see, you know, I don't have access to it. So, right, I don't have any, just this account. But, you know, I can head in and, you know, hang out. You know, I can go as the owner. I know they're both saying Revere, but right, so I can go and customize it later. There. So these are not fully synced yet, but you know this is mine, so I can just go socket that in place, head back, go ahead and actually store it. Right now it's gone. Spawn it back in. And it will have both of the items. And if I go on the other player, right, it's all persistent. Right, so players can now customize their own apartments. And what's neat, while we were testing last night, is that like the server keeps track of which ones are spawned. So if somebody else comes in to the station and they come to this particular wing and they spawn in their own room, it'll just appear next to them, and then next to them, and next to them, and then you have your own little full little community. You know what I mean? Of people, and you can go and check out other people's rooms and how they have things decorated, and I've added, just for testing purposes right now, some of the other options. Right, so the gray box version of the actual bar and the bar stools, different couches, you know. But I'm not going to rush to get these in yet. I just want to kind of get them, you know, low polyed and added to the build. But it's cool because now we have pool and, you know, some mini games happening, and we'll be able to just kind of play with each other. Hello, Revere. Hi, Revere. Yeah, needs a bit more friction, you know. It's funny, even though like I have guards on the table, so the table can't be influenced. I think I think there's still some influence. Yeah, there is. Look. Oh yeah, maybe the capsule is actually kind of still protruding through. Probably to make it so you can't really go on this at all. Yeah, so you get multiplayer feature. It's a feature, yeah. So yeah, but I'm really happy with that. Having rooms spawnable, super cool. Now let's see what happens if I just stand here and then spawn in the room. Oh yeah, no, yeah, it doesn't matter. And you guys want to see the new feature? This is the new feature. I'm running way too many versions of the game, apparently. But the new radar system is in. Hey, Mungalo. Right, so these two objects that I'm detecting are literally, if I roll, right, I roll down a little bit, they're right above me. Right, because I'm in the middle of this. And if they're right above me and I roll, right, all of their stuff is scaled perfectly. So if I head towards it, right, these are the two targets and the nav beacon. And if I head over towards the, and it's only whatever's in my sensor range. So like, let's head over here towards what I'm detecting on the radar now. Right, so we're heading over towards all these little asteroids. And all these little asteroids are now coming in. Right, and they're actually, there's three of them here, like in a cluster. So there's still not like a dynamic scale. There's a few things that need to be done when it comes to distinguishing them and how they group together. But like if I just put these things here above me and I start strafing down, right? Like this is the group of the cluster of all of those asteroids. And the system works fine. It tells me how far below the horizon line or above the horizon line relative to the ship where the target is. And if you follow it, if you keep the target in front of you, like on the horizon line, you always head to it. It's accurate. It's, you know, it works fine. It just needs some indication, right? If I target something, you can actually see the target as one of the indicators, right? So I'm actually targeting something that's in front of me right now. So it's this one. There's too many targets, but right, it works. So it actually keeps track of the actual real target. It enables me to, you know, still have like a hologram display, I'm going to separate these into different screens, but as a tier 0, a lot of this is actually all coming together to give me a bit of clarity of how I want to display things. Just the circles need to be smaller, and they need to be color coordinated depending on the type of object that's being detected. So there's a little bit of work, but the system works fine, which is what I'm happy with. And it's pretty much an exact copy of the Unicron Legacy, star map system. I just need an indicator in the middle to show where the ship is. So, that might become the ship's like status or hologram, not sure yet. And I want some effects to kind of showcase the scanner working. What is working, Like that's very clear. It's very clear to see where targets are in relation to you. The only thing that's like not working is the billboards are not quite working correctly in the space of the spaceship. So the little extra tails you're seeing here is just whatever, like as I change the angle, it does change a little bit. And I changed the effects of the rear view camera, made the rear view camera a lot different, made it like not be, receive shadows. And now the whole thing needs like a field of view adjustment for the camera when we're in the ship. So we need to figure out like what settings work best for the ship so we can see like all 3 of the screens. And I also need to adjust this camera motion, and kind of clamp it a little tiny bit more than what's happening right now. So it needs polish, but there's a lot of, there's room for that. But I need to get the targeting system actually. I gotta figure out why the AABB bounds are being weird when I target something. Like the scale doesn't scale the model down correctly to the AABB. There's a few other things like that are kind of weird, and because I want to like assume that the model's like bounds in the z-axis is what we use for scale. So however long this model is from tip to rear, right? That's kind of what we use to determine how the hologram should be resized. So we're scaling down the model until the width, the relative scale is like around 0.3 of, if its width was 1 unit, and then displaying it in the hologram. Because the hologram itself is a 1 unit, 1 meter kind of volume of display. And right now it doesn't seem to be doing that. So we need to figure out better ways of representing the holograms. And I think some of those can also become a render texture. And the holograms can also go on some of the target indicators. But we need to take up more space. We need to figure out like how we want to display the ship console. And if we even want to do 3 screens, like there's a chance that or 4 screens, there's probability that we don't need 4 screens, that we can actually do you know, just 3 and make them either be more like wider, or if they are going to be like, you know, 3-to-4 ratio, which I don't even think they are. I think they're like 1-to-1, and in reality they could be 3-to-4 or something a bit wider, more, you know, CRT oriented. But I think the backup camera stuff we should put up here, right in this dead space, right here. So like this. Right, so I'm thinking what we'll have is some type of navigation panel, right? And that navigation panel will either be like here and reachable, like above the player head. It could be even like further up as a bigger console. But something for like, you know, communication. Not sure exactly the process. But because we have this FOV and we have all of this kind of space in front of us, right, we could put the rear view camera right like up here somewhere. Like it could be you're kind of like looking at it while you're slowly going back, so it's kind of like, you know, in the center of the ship for both the pilot or co-pilot to see. But I'm not sure how clear it would be. Like, you know, it also needs, right, some UI elements on the backup camera as well for you know, what will be alignment, you know, I mean, to be able to, you know, display, you know, like where you are compared to, you know, your alignment, and how the alignment is kind of visualized, you know. Right, because then that gets rid of like this. Right, and then we, you know, these can become 3 bigger screens that take up a little bit more space on the. So my idea with the 3 screens originally is that ideally your field of view, but I'm not sure. They wanted the field of view to originally just be kind of like this, right? So things were kind of clear, and then the UI section, you know, technically took up, you know, like this much of the screen. So you had like all of your information, you know, your, depending on what seat you're in, you know, your radar was, you know, here, right? And then the rest is like, you know, you have your information that's kind of like coming down from the top. Right, and then, you know, for the most part, you'd have a pretty wide open screen. Right, so like you'd have a lot more clarity in this, but because of the wider FOV of the player camera, you kind of, in a sense, you don't get to see like the detail, or it's not so readable. I'm not sure like where I want to go with it, but this is kind of like how I kind of saw it originally before, like, you know, but right now my FOV I think is 90 or something like that. Like you want to be able to look around, be able to see things, but you know. Yeah, so even when I like decrease the FOV, we get more clarity, but you know, we also get other issues. Yeah, like once the V-Joy breaks. Yeah, so this is going to be like what needs to happen next. So there's a few things we can kind of get going here in systems. We should probably get the pool table reset because that's an easy one. You know that Mr. Incredible meme where he gets more and more depressed? Nope. Mhm. Why? You are at the late stage. I'm not depressed though. We're doing absolutely fine. Hey Bob, what do you think of the new star map? Or not star map, the new radar sensor system. It's pretty much the same one as EvoPron Legacy. You're at the late stage. Yeah, I'm tired, but I'm definitely not depressed. You just got hit with 1,000 ads for Canadian butter. What the fuck? Is this Canadian butter brand? I have no idea. You're getting developer lunch. How is game? Game is good. You lose your spine. Oh, the hunch. I mean, you need hacker glasses, and then you fit right into the 90s. Yeah, cool. Zero cool glasses. Okay, Google, add adult diapers. Search up on this. Why is that not autocompleting? You're hoping it would work. I don't really have it, like anything googly. RPC ID 1. Nope. Have you seen Poll working in the game yet, Bob? Nope. Been working on SE. We're gonna rewrite these websites. It's so funny. Like that's the whole roadmap of everything that I did way back in the day. Like when I started learning how to use Spectrum, I'm like, I gotta rewrite this whole thing in WebSockets to pretty much, interface directly with Spectrum. And like, you know. So we can retain the, okay, I got you. So here's my reviewer character. I'm gonna run another reviewer character here real quick. It's multiplayer. Service. Make sure this name actually works this time. Just go to pink. So we get more reliable data on statuses, and then we can sync that data between clients. Gotcha. So check it out, Bob. Let's come over here. I don't have a good interface for this yet, but you know. You've seen the pool stuff. What? Goo interface? I don't want to see your avatar's interface. What? You don't want to see the avatar's face? I have no idea what you're talking about. So anyway, what's new? Check this out. So now, if we head over to the habitation module, yeah, the ships work. Of course the ships work. So like this account doesn't have any access. So I can come over here to this terminal. Here's Rav's place. I can unlock it. Spawns it in. So this is just, maybe I didn't click it. Hold on. Oh, there we go. So there's Rav's place. And there's all my item ports with my 2 pieces of furniture that I bought. It's all fully synced. And if someone else pops in and they spawn in their habitation module, it obviously will give them the next available spot on the station. So by default, there's just placeholders that the NPCs use as a normal habitation module. And then as players, log in, they get assigned their own, and then they can go and buy furniture and fully customize it, to their own, heart's content. You can invite your friends over and kind of see what you want to do, and, very similar. Chips are now fully working in multiplayer too, as far as customizations work and all that stuff. right? Like that's never been a problem. We have to move to the test station though to actually like spawn them in right now. Can we grief yet? Probably not. I'm gonna just spawn a ship here in the middle of the. So I'll be co-pilot. So let me check this out. I'll just go jump in the co-pilot seat, and I'll be pilot. Doesn't matter who's what. It's all dynamic. And ignore the flickering and stuff's gonna go away in the next build, right? But you know, just being able to play multiplayer with people, you know, being able to do missions. I gotta get the missions synchronized now. We're like very close to just like MVP, you know, just having a minimum viable product working in Greybox, all the systems online. You know, the ships and everything will soon be moved over to the data side of things, so that we actually, you know, serialize on the server and you know, edit, you know, saved on your account. And then I'll just have the server periodically doing, you know, the updates on the player's behalf to push the persistent data back into the database. So your last known location, ship inventory, you know, items you've picked up, you know, and whatnot. Right, refactoring the station inventory system, because that's what needs to happen next. Like right now you can buy components and they spawn in a cargo area and you can take them, put them on the ship, like do whatever you have to do. But I want to have them be purchasable to the station inventory, and then you just spawn them from station inventory. So ideally you just want to go to your hangar and start, you know, loading everything up and hey, hi Irad, how's it going? Right, that's the idea. Yeah, we're just testing out multiplayer here in the space game. And hey, how's it going, Ian's Bear? So I'm just here with my co-pilot here in the ship, just chilling out. Hey, Irad, let me go back to the station real quick. Let me show you guys something here, what we're working on. I just need to find, let me just find the other proto station real quick, and then we'll land, and I'll show you. You guys are just kind of tuning in, so you'll need some context of what I'm working on. I didn't catch what you were saying to me since the raid kicked me. Oh, I just said welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see where. We can totally go explore the galaxy. I'm actually with. I'm on 2 players right now, just kind of testing. I need to find the proto station. You should check this out. Game looking nice. Yeah, watch this. Let me show you what you can do in the game now in multiplayer. So let's come into land. Yeah, looking. There we go. So I have 2 players right now, right? Let me exit out of the seat. So like here is the pilot, and I'm just in the seat next to him. Did you see the latest gift from Sig? No. Let me just jump out. Let me just. So I'll also jump out here. Boom. Right. So we're both actually playing the game together in multiplayer. It's a roadmap. You can buy all your components, upgrade the ship. I mean, that's how this game works anyway. This particular ship has no weird authority. It's like a throwaway ship, so you can't really customize it. Couldn't give you a shout out. Too late for it, but I remember it next time. Hey, it's all good. So check this out. This is what you can now do in the proto station. I'll take a look in a bit. I don't really care that much. I'm sure it's probably some excuse. So we have fully working pool. So we can now, like in multiplayer, play pool. What is it? Like, what's the TLDR? You need something to cheer you up. I don't need anything to cheer me up. I'm fine. So check this out. I'm just tired. We now have fully working pool. Gotta have the fully working game inside your not complete game. Oh yeah, absolutely. Gotta have a fully working game inside your not complete game. Players gotta have something to do while they're waiting for the game to be finished, you know? So, you know, what else are they gonna do while they're waiting? Did you implement pull too? Oh yeah, it's fully, yeah, it's all working. And what should be working, let me just see. Let me test it out here. Yep. So I just finished the, oh right, it's gotta, I need to make it actually re-rack the cue ball. And maybe not like, yeah, it's gotta like, not just reset the ball, but, you know, sleep the balls as well. But you can kind of interact with it and reset it. But hey, it's a good enough, you know, initial implementation. And what's new is you should charge players to buy and play. That's fine. So here in the habitation area, I can now, yeah, right. So we can now have our own rooms. So you can like, you know, actually fully customize these. So this is mine. Right, so if I head over here and just kind of despawn it, right, and anyone who has their own room, they can just go in, spawn it in, make customizations to it. So they just bring it into existence, buy a bunch of furniture, you know, all these little things that they want to do for customizing it, and just, you know, put these in place. And you know, how's your game going, Irad, or what are you working on? Yeah, so now I'm at like weird polish. I got to get the been working on the overlay again. I gotcha. Yeah, so now it's just kind of I'm at a stage now where I just need to get all these systems working online. You know, buying cargo needs to actually go to station storage, so it's not just here loose. There's just a bunch of really just clean up. I need to finish some of the features about storing and displaying like Steam information for the games of other streamers. Oh, that's cool. Right, so you can like, all of this is all simulated on the server. So we can like buy cargo, move it around. 10 gig networking RAM is the future. Yeah, I'm only just getting everything to 2.5 right now. You skip 2.5. Which network cards? Which network adapters are you using? Are you using the very hot ones? Ubiquity switch. Oh, cool. I love Ubiquity gear. Ubiquity gear is awesome. Yeah, I find so too. Pretty good. But I would really like to switch back to working on my game instead. Yeah, it's fun. Like, and what I love about where I am right now is I'm mostly now back into the gameplay design. Like, a lot of the systems are working. Thanks for the follow. The systems are working. Not a lot more needs to be done. Right? It's very minuscule. Right? Like, I have a whole bunch of Planet Tech stuff I need to work on. That's going to be the focus probably after the summer. But I'm hoping within the next 30 days or so, I'll be at like an MVP. We can kind of play around with. I'm going to get all the different commodities in the game. and a bunch of variations of these little test stations. They're not going to be like, you know, they're still going to be gray box, but, you know, it's just getting everything playable. I need art for the Steam page is the issue. Yeah, probably too early. If I could, you know, spend some time, you know, finalizing some of the characters and some of the, you know, the models, that'd be cool. But right, I finished working on this new radar system. So now, like, all the things are relative to you, just like what is the game? I'm trying to think of the game. Right, so like all these asteroid fields over here. No Man's Sky. What about No Man's Sky? Right, I don't have my mining ship out, but you know you can go do, you know, mining now. You can do some salvage. I need to get the mining lasers and everything. Right, this is all just testing. We have our little water planet over there. I don't know why I don't have a tractor beam, or like I don't have this test ship, you know, configured with the warp drive. Right, so like targeting and stuff like this it'll be cool once it all kind of comes together. Everything now just needs polish and refinement. Yeah, that's a rear view camera. It's used for backing up. One of the variations of the ships have a like a, you know, it's a space truck. You have to like mount the actual like cargo containers. So it needs to be changed, of course, but I'm gonna have like alignment indicators on it, and you kind of, you know, you hook up to the cargo, you back up, you know, hook onto it, and then you detach, and you're just pulling cargo. So it's a part of one of the you know, gameplay mechanics. But we were chatting about it in Paint, right? Like I want to move maybe the rear view camera up here. So to be like the radio will be here, maybe with like a little kind of old school like CB radio thing that you can kind of grab, you know, with a mount, you know, a little CB mount. And so you'd have your rear view camera, comm system, with, you know, just for communication, you know, switches. That removes one screen, so if I need to, we can do 3 bigger screens, depending on like the FOV settings, right? That would be the idea, right? And then we can nuke one of the screens, and that gives us a little bit more space, right? Because it's kind of, you know, like really, I want the FOV when you're in the. You know, I want a wider FOV, but I do want the, you know, everything to kind of be easily readable, you know. So like that's something I need to kind of think about, like how I want to do it, because, you know, it can be readable, but then you have like a low FOV, you're not really looking around, or, you know, you're sitting in here normally with around 90 degrees FOV. Now the screen's too small, so I gotta find something that works good, right? Change the font sizes. Right, same with the combat ship, right? The combat ship UI. Figuring out how I'm gonna do my panels. Subnautica does let you switch your whole view to the camera position for maneuvering the submarine. Like an external camera, you mean? Or is there like custom cameras? It's when I try to like navigate that huge thing into the narrow submarine caves. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna grab some water. I'll be right back. Brad, tired. I hope we get some rest soon. Brad is very tired. That is not a joke. But can you look at me joke now? You will laugh big time. So let's figure out. Yeah, let's do an MVP roadmap thing here for systems. So what do we want? So we want ship, system, integration. All right. So this. So link chips uplink. I'm gonna go to bed. So have my stream and a nice coding session. Have a good one. Irad, let me give you a shout out before you go. Just give me 1 second. We got Chatterino up here on the gaming rig. So you guys are following Irad. There we go. Yeah, thanks again for the raid, man. It means a lot. I need to get more exposure on the game. You know, get more people testing it. If you guys are really interested in, helping out with anything, unforgivenspace.com. Use the Discord. If the bot is broken, get it on Steam, make it free. For the demo, you mean? Make some PvP. Yeah. Makeshifts uplink to farm network. Sell the ability for your character to have hair. I mean, you're not wrong. That's all. Yep, you need. So the question is, should stations, stations have their own cam array system? I would say yes. And then we need to determine like range of satellites. Free players get no hair. What if they're playing the game for like, years? Maybe they only get hair like the longer they play as a free player. The longer they survive, their hair slowly grows, Otherwise, they just stay bald. My idea, Bob, is for free players to be like Scavs and Tarkov. Because I think it'd be funny. We need fuel tanks. We'll say fuel system integration. The warp drives are working. Fuel generators. Yeah, we can get a lot of this gameplay stuff online. We need to balance ship flight. I want to redo. I wish we could break these out in the epics. Is there like a custom view? Plan dependencies and time. Views at Gantt. Yeah, IK stuff will be 2.4. See, I wish I could put in blockers. There's relationships. Waiting on. Waiting on. Oh, we can. Cool. So if I do a to-do, and we said upgrade project to Godot 4.5. And I said the blocker we're waiting on this. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, see something? Yeah, it's in beta 3. Saying this is part of the animation system. This is in QA. Nice. This is all I wanted. Is blockers. Blockers and dependencies. Perfect. So anything IK is now blocked by the release of 4.5. Then we can work on this tomorrow. I gotta blow through all this QA stuff. And then in networking, shifty spawning should have you working. Then we add a QA. Why is this one sub statuses? Oh, because they're custom. QA should be yellow. So this is in QA. I think this is working. It just needs to be QA'd. Maybe the Copilot can get it. Yeah, this is also in QA. We need SendGrid integration. Working on sending 2FA tokens. Let's do, so set up SendGrid API for 2FA notifications. Do this. And we'll make this a blocker. Let's put this back. Universe server allow visibility of Patreon rewards. Allow visibility to Patreon rewards. What do I even mean by that? Allow visibility to Patreon rewards on the Universe server. 2022. Probably too old. Create a new fake apartment for fake interior shader. There is one of these already. This is actually in QA. Fix interior for ship component shop and truck stop. That's so old. Laser rifle battery pack. I think this is QA. Wouldn't mind fixing this one as well. Alright, it's lots of systems to do. And stuff we have the QA. Yeah, we need to, like, when this happens, we need to actually sleep everything. Like, after we rack the balls. Yeah, because we're not, like, resetting the balls. I don't really want to freeze them. I just want to sleep them. I mean, we could, like, freeze them and then unfreeze them afterwards, after they've been repositioned. And then just kind of wake them back up again. Someone's been a busy little coder today. Yeah, how's it going, Moon? It's a lot of planning. We're just planning what I call the MVP for this month. Minimum viable product. So I want to start, like, you know, I'll get you guys to start kind of treating it like a game. I know it's kind of poor to treat it like a game. But start looking at, like, things that are not really in the game that should be in the game. I know it's hard for you to not know what that is because you're just, you know, playing it. But, like, right, do the fuel tanks work? Like, do they have a purpose? Right? Do we have fueling? Right? Like, and then you know, so I've already added, like, fueling system. You know, how do we want that to work? Right? Like, I'd like to be able to go up and, you know, click on a fuel, you know, nozzle and, like, attach a mesh to the actual ship. I think that'd be kind of cool, you know. You just see what works and what's stable, you know, for that. Right, so that's something I want to do, and maybe it's like a hanging thing from the ceiling, like maybe it kind of hangs down, almost like the, you know, like the ship arm. You know, maybe the ship arm itself has like a fuel like system coming down the side of it, and you can kind of grab it and, you know, plug it in or whatever. But just think about those type of things, right? Because I want to get, like, the refueling working, and, you know, the fact that you can run out of fuel, and if you remove both of your tanks, then you only have, you know, half the fuel capacity. So the actual tanks actually matter, right? They register, you know, the actual total volume of fuel you can actually have. And it means if someone steals your fuel tanks, you know. So little things like that to think about. Confirmed fuel rat ships incoming. Yeah, absolutely. I want rescue ships, you know, refueling ships. Like, that's a thing. So think, just start to think about, yeah, I think that'll actually stop the, it'll make the racking more stable. So then on the pool table, reset the reset cue ball. Should be public. Reset cue should be public. And then this reset. Yep. And this should now be fine. Yeah, I wanna start like getting it ironed out now, man. I wanna get the different commodities in, different furniture items in. I kind of want to start going back to the other project, like the non-gray box project, and start putting things together, Getting it playable. And then we also need to get, the biggest thing will be the zone system. I'm not gonna get the zone system in this month. I think it's fine. Like we're not really spending a lot of time in the ships together. I mean, you are when you're in a station, but I'm not too worried about players getting yeeted from, right now we have to be seated to be able to like do anything. I think that's fine. What I'll do is I'll add in that area. Oh yeah, new shaders. Come on, Blender. I'm seeing terrible things happening. Oh, there we go. It's loading slowly. Right, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these working, right? So then there's another place for two people to sit down. That's the whole point of it anyway. So no zone system for the next little while, but there'll be a place to sit down, so just make sure people are seated before the ship starts moving. Right, so that'll be for these guys. Right, so just getting these components working in the build will be fantastic. So very soon we'll be using, the more final art versions of things, and we'll be, doing some texture work, and I don't know. We'll be fleshing out the game. It'll be cool. But I need to figure out like where we're gonna put the fuel ports, like for refueling. Like I want to be able to access the tanks from a separate system. Or maybe not, like maybe we literally have ports on the tanks, and maybe that's what we're doing. We're just opening up the, I don't know how well that would work. Yeah, I'm thinking like back here, right, there'll be some form of, like a port on the outside of the ship. Right, because that'll be about some magnetic coupler. Yeah, just where am I putting it? And maybe it's just under the wing. Maybe it's just like a bay, here. on the outside. Or like when these open up, you know, there's a port. But these are like questions I need to figure out. I need way more cargo boxes too. Anyway, it's 11, so I think I'm going to already invade someone here just a bit. I will be on the Discord for those that want to jump on and get to organize a lot of these assets. We got a lot of work to do, but it's going to be cool, man. I'm so glad, Moon, we had a chance to test that last night. Like the fact that they have it, like, and they're still working perfect, by the way. So, you know, I might spend some time redoing some of those gray box, you know, components, and maybe like reconfiguring the habitation. We'll see. But either way, I'm gonna go raid someone, and we'll have a lot of homework to do, which I'll do on the Discord. So for those that want to join, the server Discord is just unforgivenspace.com. When do I Chatterino like minimize this? There we go. That should bring you to the Discord. There we go. Perfect. Alrighty. Let's go find someone to raid. Let me end it here on the YouTube.